Nobody 2 is directed by Timo Tjahjanto and once again takes advantage of the incredible casting of Bob Odenkirk in this role. So Hutch Mansell, still grappling with his past as a lethal assassin, takes his family on a vacation to a small town theme park, only to be thrust back into violence when they encounter a corrupt operator, a crooked sheriff, and a ruthless crime boss. As I already alluded to in the beginning of this video, the casting of Bob Odenkirk as a lethal assassin is one of the reasons the first film stood out so much to me. It was really well directed, had great action sequences, but seeing the guy from the Ben Stiller Show or Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul kicking that much ass took the idea of stunt casting, no pun intended, to a whole nother level. Besides seeing him back in action, what excited me most this time around is the fact that Timo Tjahjanto got to direct this film. This is a filmmaker who's made a lot of really good movies. He's been out there doing installments for the VHS films, The Night Comes for Us, a lot of horror and action, and seeing him take the reins of a film like this was very exciting for me. And all the action is typically handled extremely well. He's great at it, as well as 87 North, the production company behind the film. If you've seen the John Wick movies or Atomic Blonde or any of their other films, you're going to see some interchangeable stunt people here in and out of all of these productions. Now that his past as a lethal assassin has been established, I think the idea of essentially Home Alone 2ing this sequel, having them go someplace else on vacation and have a lot of stuff happen, is a really clever idea because you have to maintain the thought that he is a nobody. He has to be in situations that can constantly surprise people. He has to look like a regular dude that no one would ever think could do these things. If he were to become known as a John Wick-like figure, that would kind of ruin the whole concept of these movies as well as the title. So placing him in a random amusement park and having to deal with small town crime that actually leads to much bigger crime is a really great idea. That's probably one of the franchise's biggest challenges moving forward, I would assume, is how can they continue to place this character in situations where he can surprise people? Because if his fame or recognition gets any bigger, then he can no longer be a nobody. And they've done a great job with that, but what 87 North is doing that's so impressive is that they're essentially taking storylines from movies from the 80s, like Cobra or Commando or First Blood, or films that aren't really made that much anymore, and they're trying to find a more modern spin on it, because essentially this movie really is just about a dad who gets kind of pissed off when some people bug his family, and it starts this little mini war. And the complications stay right about there. It doesn't get any more complex, and I appreciate that. This movie does not have to be that kind of film. What they do that actually is kind of surprising, though, is take characters that are set up as villains, and you're kind of anticipating a certain confrontation eventually, and then find ways to Dragon Ball Z it, you know? You meet Piccolo, he's a bad guy. What happens later? Same with Vegeta. Frieza and Goku even team up in Dragon Ball Super. Like, it's a thing that I've always noticed can be very effective when you introduce a character and say, this is your main bad guy, and then find a way to introduce a worse person, and now you have a common enemy. And that's always a very, very fun way to handle an action movie. Nobody 2 is not going to break any new ground in the action world. It's not supposed to. This is supposed to be a film that is filled with purposefully on-the-nose one-liners, a lot of crowd-pleasing moments, some great gore, great fights, and an excellent Bob Odenkirk. If you enjoyed the first movie, I can see you having a lot of fun with this one too. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.